One of my concerns is for people that become isolated. And I do work with grandmothers and grandfathers and senior citizens that have joined online dating sites, perhaps to find a companion. And I've worked with, for example, you might get a grandmother that's been married for 30, 40 years and her partner dies. And then 2 or 3 years later, she seeks to find a companion and she goes to one of these online dating sites and starts to talk to somebody that she thinks has got a lot of commonality, and they form a relationship on the internet and start talking to each other. She becomes very nurturing towards that person, and it's actually a cyber criminal. And at some point, he will start to extract money from that person. And it could be $4,000, $7,000, $8,000, $20,000. I've seen those amounts be given up. And once that starts to happen, that grandmother is in a very difficult position. Often the family around her becomes frustrated with her and suggests that she's stupid, and she's not stupid. She's been deceived and manipulated. You think about that woman that has had a partner for 30 or 40 years. She loses her husband and she's simply trying to seek companionship, and she has been deceived by a master manipulator. And the lengths that they will go to continue that deception and extract more and more money. For example, she may at the start talk to 3 or 4 profiles in the online dating site, and she engages one particular person and they start talking, sharing photographs, and she starts to form a relationship with that person. And then we come along to work with her because we realise that she's in danger, and she could be in danger of losing her entire home. And when we work with that particular person, we have to let them know that there could be 2 other profiles that will engage her the minute she becomes non-compliant and stops talking to this first person. Because what has happened is there are 2 other profiles behind the criminal, and it is actually the same person. So when number 1 profile fails and steps back, number 2 or number 3 will re-engage that target or that person, and then the person thinks, well, this person's a nice person. It's actually the same criminal. Those are the lengths that they will go to keep talking and connected to this person. And we have to work with the whole family then, because the whole family has been put at risk. The grandmother has given out pictures of her grandchildren, perhaps where her son works. All of that personal information is available to that criminal to keep on manipulating that person. And we often have to reformat computers because viruses and keyloggers have been put onto the computer. We have to get the person to change their landline, give them a new cell phone number, change their Facebook account settings, because at some point down the track, 6 months later, that criminal will try to reconnect with that person again. They will go to Google Earth and look at the kind of home that person lives in to try and get an idea of wealth and assets. What is in their mind is when they talk to a senior citizen or a person in a dating site is, they are asset rich and isolated. They see them as somebody that has climbed over a mortgage, that has access to money or funds, and they are on their own. One of their motivations is to isolate that person from the rest of the family. So when arguments start, that empowers the criminal. I urge all families that may have somebody in their home that is in that situation, stay as close to that person as you can and get help for them and support them through that process.
Have you seen anyone lose their home through this kind of fraud?
I haven't seen a home lost. I am aware of information that has been reported to me by a family that there is a gentleman that could be on the verge of doing that unless we're able to change his behaviour in some way. But when they believe that they have met somebody that they can spend the rest of their life with, that is a very powerful thing for that person to be feeling and experiencing, and they will often view us as somebody that wants to break that relationship. Certainly people have lost lots of money. They've lost their inheritance. In this community there are people today that are being targeted relentlessly, and there are victims who are senior citizens that are losing money. That is a fact.